Hello everyone, welcome back to Chapter 2, Section 3 of the online video course, Chinese Traditional Culture and Spiritual Healing. My name is Peng Keming, a teacher at Guangdong University of Foreign Studies. Nice to see you again.
I always feel moody, and it seems that my emotion is at the will of others. When others praise me, I feel happy. When others criticize me, I am frustrated. I am always at the verge of joy or frustration, and I feel unsettled. How could I find inner peace and avoid such emotional ups and downs?
To Zhuangzi, there is a highest level of human mind. The whole world praise him, but he will not make more effort because of this. The whole world condemns him, but he will not feel more depressed because of this. Because he understands the difference between himself and others, and knows the honor and disgrace all come from the evaluation of others. So he will not allow himself to be kidnapped by honor or disgrace. There are three things in the world. 1. Things of our own. 2. Things of the others. 3. Things of heaven. What we should do is to maintain upright and selfless, and do the best we can. It is for others to decide whether they give us good or bad reviews. As for whether we can succeed, it is for the heaven to decide. As the saying goes, man proposes, God disposes. When facing the results and others, we should not expect the outcome to be in line with our goal. We should not let others determine our happiness or sadness. This is what Zhuangzi considers as a truly independent person, which means that we need to be the best of what we can and do not depend on others, and do not expect the results to be in our favor. To illustrate, there is another story. An elderly man was on the way to visit his friends. He rode a donkey with his grandson. They met a middle-aged man halfway, who criticized them, claiming that the donkey would be exhausted to death if they both ride on it. The elderly man considered it to be true, so he got off. Now only his grandson was riding on the donkey. Then came another elderly person, who blamed the grandson to be so unfilial to the grandpa that he rode on a donkey and asked his grandpa to walk. So grandpa hastily asked his grandson to step off and ride on the donkey himself. Then a young child came, who criticized grandpa to be so unkind towards his grandson. So grandpa hurried down and walked with his grandson. But he was seen again by some farmers, who said that grandpa was so dumb that they did not ride on the donkey even though they had one. So grandpa was very confused and did not know what the right thing to do was. Grandpa's dilemma is that he does not have a clear and firm belief in what he should do, and he is dependent on others' judgments, and his actions are dictated by others. So he is always in an awkward situation where he is always wrong. The story reminds me of Mother Teresa, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Mother Teresa dedicated her whole life to the poor, to the sick, the orphans, the lonely, the homeless, and the dying. With the spirit of fraternity and practical action, she did everything she could to help the most vulnerable in Kolkata, India, so that they felt respected, cared for, and loved. In 1999, Mother Teresa was voted by the American people to top the list of most respected people of the 20th century by an overwhelming margin, and became a great woman in the minds of all Americans. Yet even so, comments on Mother Teresa were not always positive. For example, the critic Arup Chatterjee accused Mother Teresa of creating a negative impression of his hometown and argued that Mother Teresa's opposition to Indian nationalism had caused unnecessary estrangement and friction in Indian political circles. Faced with such misunderstanding and criticism, Mother Teresa said, "People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. Even if you are kind, people may accuse you of being selfish and having ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. When you are successful, you will have some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. You try your best to succeed anyway. Even if you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. People may destroy what you have built for years overnight. You have to build it anyway. If you find sincerity and happiness, some may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Even if you give the best you have, it will never be enough. Give the best anyway. You see, in the end, it is between you and the God. It is never between you and others anyway." As we can see, even a good person like Mother Teresa is misunderstood, wounded, deceived, devastated, and envied. So it is likely that no matter what you do, there will be people who deny and negate your worth. In this world we live, it is normal that one cannot always be understood by others. It is a biased perception that you must get the approval of others when you do what you think correct and altruistic, and you feel frustrated when misunderstood by others. The way Mother Teresa reconciles with the world is, I do what I think is right, not for the glory given by others, but to glorify God. Even though others might misunderstand me, God knows. I do things for what I believe in, not for others. At this point, Mother Teresa's creed of life is in harmony with that of Zhuangzi. Zhuangzi said, "One came and went alone with the pure spirit of the universe, yet he did not view all things with arrogant eyes. He was not confused by the right and wrong, but lived with the age and its vulgarity." Zhuangzi believed that as long as we are upright and selfless, Tao will tell us the right life direction. Even if I'm alone on this road, I should not doubt my belief, because Tao will safeguard my journey. When others do not understand us, there is no need to be hostile, nor do we have to prove ourselves to be right. The least thing we should do is to ask for compliments. We need to free ourselves from others' judgments. As long as our hearts are upright enough, we are not dependent on others to validate our worth, right? We have reached the end of section 2 of chapter 2. Before we end, I have 2 questions for you. They are on the screen. 1. Have you been misunderstood? And 2. What did you do when facing the misunderstanding? Thank you for watching and see you next time.